economy seems to be heavily burdened with all these people coming in. As an immigrant myself, I can see the crisis in housing, delays in immigration, and a weak job market. So today I share an interview with you of a Nigerian immigrant brother who is facing some of the common struggles we experience as a foreign worker. What is your name?
Peter is my name.
And what do you do in Canada?
Well, I'm a research student. I'm a master's student in University of Saskatoon, and I'm also a medical doctor back home in Nigeria. Even though presently in Canada, I'm trying to have an assessment of all my credentials so that I can practice here in Canada.
How different is work in Canada compared to work in Nigeria?
Well, two sides. In Nigeria, we are more culturally oriented. So, for example, a client walked into my clinic. There's tendency for me to ask, how are you? What did you eat yesterday? And usually there's no time limit. You want the person to talk. But here in Canada, a client walks into your place. Everything is timed. Canada is more regimented. You get to your place of work, you already have your schedule. You see task shift duty. Do this, do this, do this. Done, not done. Why? The dollar you're getting, you have to work for it. Do you understand? So there's no sitting down, no loitering around, nothing. You just have to do it. So it kind of make you feel on edge. So Canada makes you feel like you're working for your money. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, you're working and you're enjoying your work. Canada doesn't program you to work and enjoy your work. The master that is paying you is saying, I'm paying you to get this job done. But in Nigeria,
It's more relaxed.
Enjoy, more relaxed, and you're still getting your money. And that is huge.
Have you faced any sort of discrimination in the workplace in Canada because of your background?
Of course, definitely. The first place I worked, I was a supervisor. Even my co-supervisors discriminated against me. Even the staff I had to supervise discriminated against me because they felt they just couldn't imagine that one black man from Africa would come around and then become a supervisor. My colleague supervisor would go to the staff and would be asking, how was Peter today? Did he perform? So that was quite huge. I felt it.
That's unfortunate.
So I had to take it up with the management. I said, no, that's wrong.
If you had to give any advice to someone in Nigeria who wants to come to work in Canada, what would you tell them?
No, don't come to Canada if you're stable back home. It's not worth it. It's just a fleece. It's a mirage. And that's the truth. Some of us are here because we've decided to come. For example, coming to Canada as a consultant psychiatrist, I had my hospital, I had the money, I had my driver, I had everything working. I had 3 vehicles. I had built a house and I was living in a duplex. But why did I come? Some of us, we looked at it and we said, you know what? For the sake of my children.
So did you come to Canada mainly for your kids?
2 things. I wanted the international community to benefit from my wealth of knowledge. I also benefit from them and use it to build Africa. And at the same time, Canada is rewarding me with citizenship that my children will benefit from.
How do the salaries differ in Canada compared to Nigeria?
Salaries in Nigeria is better, you understand? Because I can be making an equivalent of $1,000 in Nigerian naira. The amount that I'm going to spend out of that $1,000 to get my house, rent, everything may just be about 300 or 400. I have opportunity to save like 500 from my salary. But you can't try that here in Canada.
Your rent takes...
It's not even enough. You have to cut your coat according to your clothes in Canada. Because your rent, many things are competing. So it's like they give and they take. The system will take it away from you, from parking lots, from the toll gate, from bills, from charges, everything, bus pass, they will take your money.
It comes and it goes fast.
You can save more back in Nigeria. You
Really?
get 1,000, you can, if you are not a extravagant person, you will save half of your salary.
That's good to know. I didn't know that. Do you have any regrets coming to Canada?
At the beginning, I had a regret. But the reason why my regrets were very limited was because I knew what I was going into. I knew it was going to be, there were going to be challenges. But, the unemployment rate, the housing, the discriminations, sometimes you don't prepare for some of these things. Even if you knew theoretically that you're going to face them, when they hit you, then you know that it's real. At those moments, I had my regrets. But I just discovered that as you ease into the system, as you get acclimatized, you just begin to understand the system for what it is. There are a lot of systemic discrimination that you won't see it as a form of discrimination because it's already systematized. It's already part of the system. They won't put it in your face. We call it systemic discrimination. It's quite huge, but it's hidden under laws, organizational rules, and co. But you will know that it's deeply hidden. But they won't put it and shove it to your face and say, oh, you have been discriminated upon. They'll tell you, we're against color, we're against discrimination, we're against bullying and harassment. But it is systemic. So those things you regret. But by and large, when you look at the brighter future, the knowledge you are getting, so for that, I give it to them.
Brother.